Tom Ammiano is a former teacher. He was the president of the San Francisco Board of Supervisors. And for the past 6 years, he has represented San Francisco in the State Assembly.
Very well.
All right.
Very well. He not only has worked hard for the 99%, but is probably the most beloved politician for the majority of San Franciscans. Please welcome Tom Ammiano.
All right.
I love me some gold pink. When they yelled at Kissinger, oh, I was so happy. I think it's called Schadenfreude. Well, thank you. This group has always meant quite a bit to all of us here in San Francisco because you keep the light burning. Looking out, I'm just going to guess at the generation that I'm talking to. Although there's some very, very young people here too, which is quite wonderful. But you know, there was a time I think that we felt we had more traction. There was a time when grassroots organizing meant everything to us and translated into getting people elected who, God forbid, were populist and represented the inclusive needs of this city. We've become a little exclusive, and it's so important. You know, I have 3 granddaughters, and you know, they're on social media. They're very, very adept. And that generation, and even the generation behind them, needs to have a mentoring, needs to see inspiration, needs to see the embracing of what the 4 goals are. I listened to the 4 goals and I thought, why is this difficult? Why is this difficult? Care for other people. Well, right now I am so happy to be home. I have what they call PTSD, post-traumatic Sacramento disorder. So in the mere 6 years allotted me in Sacramento, you know, I tried to set the barn on fire. I really did. You know, the rent's too damn high. And we made some conversions there when it came to the rights of immigrants. Jerry Brown, you know, can drive me totally crazy. He likes to, and I'm thinking, you know, he likes to go left, he likes to go right. They call it canoe. He paddles to the left, he paddles to the right. But he doesn't paddle straight ahead on progressive issues. So you're always talking to him. You're always trying to get him to connect. And sometimes that can be very frustrating. I asked him once about Prop 13, and you know, he's Jesuit trained, you know, and I 16 years of Catholic school and made me the man I am today. And about that, Archbishop, Queen to Bishop, check. So I said, Mr. Governor, you know, Prop 13, I want to do something about it. It's caused all this damage, all these sufferings, our school districts. And he said, Prop 13, that's a conundrum. Like papal infallibility. So this is what you start with when you go. So how Sacramento can connect to us is you want your representatives to feel obligated to all the people who elected him, not just some of it. So what we did in those 6 years, you know, we pushed all the envelopes on medical marijuana and marijuana, and we're almost there. We are almost there. And we talked a lot about the rights of transgenders, and that has taken root. And a lot of things that we've done here in San Francisco, Healthy San Francisco, our health program, that it gets access to everybody. We've gotten traction. Radioactive topics in Sacramento are the homeless. Nobody seems to want to touch it. I did sponsor a bill working with the coalition on basic rights of people to be clean and have, toilet facilities. We talk about charity and to be able to sit where they want to sit. So, I was pilloried by the press. I'm not used to that, of course, and the Chronicle editorials are basically full of snark and very protective of what we used to call ourselves the ruling class. So this year, one of the senators, not from San Francisco, regretful to say, does have a bill in regard to the right to have the right to rest, the right to sit down.
All right.
I'm old. I haven't had medical care. I was a veteran. I was a grandmother. I got caught up in this. Or I was one paycheck away, and then I got sick, and now I can't sit down even. And frankly, if I'm going to do a broad stroke, the business community has been terrible about this. I'm afraid that the mayor definitely has. They have his ear, and we have the solutions. We have the brain power. We even have the funding about homeless. Homeless is one of the most vilified populations. I can't believe what I hear in the halls among electeds. And if you try to do something about it, you're made into a pinata. So we are familiar about that. We have been warriors, and we're battle scarred and battle proven. But I'm telling you, that is something that we should all pay very much attention to. And by the way, while the Catholic Church and I have some differences, they've been very good about immigration and the homeless thing. And so it's important not to tell people, just brush people off. If you can find a spot that shows charity and compassion. And prison reform is another issue that no one touches. I did the tour at Pelican Bay, and it's just so oppressive and so sad, and you feel so helpless, and then you get pissed off. So we have tried to push that button in Sacramento. Jerry Brown has done some interesting things, realignment, which is not such a bad thing, but he doesn't seem to really get, and some of my colleagues either, where that overcrowding come from, the racial profiling, the really medieval marijuana laws. I mean, please, if you do anything, tell them to light up a joint and relax. And let's stop spending too much money on that. And one of the biggest supporters of marijuana reform and legalizations was the NAACP, because it is their kids, 90%, and Latino kids who are getting busted for having a nickel dime. And by the way, there's no jobs for them anyway, so it looks very seductive to sell some pot. Put in jail sometimes, for 10, 15, 20 years. There's a lot to reform. I'm hoping that those who we elect will hear this message. San Francisco is a very populous city, and I adore it. And it's because we always want to meddle and have our say. And I think we're more progressive than even is reflected by certain actions of the President administration and the Board of Supervisors. And you all did that. They don't even know they're progressive. They don't understand, that when they vote against the suppression of abortion, they don't know how long it took us to get there, or when they say, yeah, we're fine with same-sex marriage, they don't know that wasn't the way years ago. Hello, Quentin Cobb. Oh, did I say that? By the way, I got married. I want to show you. There it is. So yes to the dress. I always tell people this ring is from Tiffany. That was the name of the young woman who sold me this ring. So there are quite a number of issues in this, we all know, and I will close. It's housing. And years ago, with no disrespect, we were asleep at the wheel. Our electeds in Sacramento, we got the Ellis Act, we got Costa Hawkins, we got rid of vacancy control. It's a big mess. And now we have to undo that. And I really believe that we have the power and the energy to do that. And so thank you so much for asking me. I see a lot of my friends out here, particularly Tim Redmond and his lovely family. He's gonna kill me for doing this, but what a treasure. Do you read the editorials in the Chronicle and your columns, and then you realize that this is one of the few voices that address the issues in an intelligent, non-snarky, non-indulgent way? Thank you, Tim, very much. And totally self-promotional, Tim and I are doing a podcast. Yes, it's every week. We're having fun with it. You can get it on 48 Hills, which is his blog, or my Facebook. We found out that neither of our spouses have listened to it. Because they hear it every day. So thank you very much. I hope I do this right. Live long and prosper. Thank you.